Escape the 9 to 5 with this, the inaugural episode of the Serve No Master podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Namecheap, the only place where I go to buy all of my websites. To find out how much you can save and get a free year of identity protection, go to servenomaster.com/Namecheap.
Are you tired of dealing with your boss? Do you feel underpaid and underappreciated? If you want to make it online, fire your boss and start living your retirement dreams now, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to Serve No Master podcast, where you'll learn how to open new revenue streams and make money while you sleep. Presented live from a tropical island in the South Pacific by best-selling author Jonathan Green. Now, here's your host.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Serve No Master podcast. My name is Jonathan Green and I'm very excited to have you join me today. I want to share with you a little bit about my vision for this podcast, where we're going to take things, and exactly what is going to happen in your life, the amazingness that I want to bring to you. 6 years ago, I lost my job. I got fired from what I thought was my dream job and I thought my life was over. What am I going to do without someone to take care of me financially? In that time, I've turned my life around, started my own business, made huge amounts of money, and now I live on a tropical island in the South Pacific. My dreams have all come true, and it all started with getting fired. Together on this magical journey, I'm going to show you exactly how you can start your own side business and begin to take control of your financial destiny. Most of us in America and the West, we live in debt. We live paycheck to paycheck. If we lost our jobs within 3 months, we'd be in serious trouble. We'd lose our house. We wouldn't be able to make the mortgage, pay the rent. We have all these problems. Most of us spend about 10% more than we make. There's never enough money every month. And we're kind of stuck in this situation where we're so dependent on our bosses. Well, I want to break you free from that. I want to show you how you can develop skills, use the knowledge you already have to unlock online income so that you can become financially independent. Our first goal, our first phase is to start making a little extra money to give you a little buffer. So maybe right now you're spending 10% more than you make every month. Well, we want to make that extra 10%. That's our first goal. So that'll get you whole. That'll help you stop building your debt. We want to get to a point where we remove debt in your life. And we're going to accomplish that by really analyzing and finding the best skills you have, the things that you're really great at that can quickly make you money. Many people I know, we think that no one wants to hear what we have to say. No one cares about our skills. No one wants to know the things that we're an expert at. But so often, there's an opportunity online to find an audience. And when you find that audience, you can achieve financial freedom. So the first thing we're really going to do as we go forward in this podcast, we're going to develop and really dig into finding skills that are very valuable and marketable online. A lot of the things you may have forgotten since high school and things you know how to do, they're very valuable. And we're going to talk about all sorts of different ways of unlocking financial potential online. Writing books, writing articles, making videos, sharing knowledge, starting a blog. All these different things are really amazing. So as we take this journey together, I'm also going to bring in special guests who found their own path to financial security. This podcast is about more than just making money online. This is about achieving control of your life. The more of the variables in your life you control, the more success you can achieve. No longer will you be a slave to the whims of a boss or a corporation that doesn't truly care about you. Instead, you can make decisions that are good for you, good for your family, and good for your life. So as we talk about achieving financial freedom, what we're really focusing on is the freedom aspect, the ability to decide where you want to live, what hours you want to work, how much time you invest in different projects. When I was at my last position working at a university, I was in charge of a very large project and managing several other teachers and all these amazing things. And I wasn't happy because there was no efficiency. I didn't have control over my time. I had to show up every day at the same time and leave at the same time. It didn't matter what I accomplished during the day. They were measuring the value of my life in hours. And that's a very inefficient way to live your life and to make money. I could get all my work done in the first hour of the day every day, and I would have 7 more hours to sit there and do nothing. And most of us with office-type jobs, if you've ever had that experience, you know what I'm talking about. Where your boss doesn't measure productivity, they simply measure time in your chair. It's very inefficient. Instead, you can work the 1 hour for yourself and spend the rest of the day with your kids, with your family, doing the things that you love. Every day, I go surfing, swimming, kayaking, stand-up paddling. I spend time with my kids, time in the ocean. I live in paradise. And it all came about by understanding the dynamics of making money online, by understanding the way business really works. When you first think about starting a business for yourself, all you think about is the risk. Oh, what if it fails? What if all these bad things happen? But the risk is so small compared to the benefits. When you own a business, when you're the boss, all of the profits go to you. You don't have to split them anymore. When you're working salary or working pay per hour, whether you generate $1,000 in sales or $1 million in sales, you don't make any more money. You don't get a taste of the reward. You don't get a piece of the action. And we want to move into that realm. I want to give you more freedom. So together we're going to take a journey where we start to analyze the skills you can use to unlock your financial potential. I'm going to talk and share with you techniques for making products online, writing books and making them bestsellers on Amazon, how to start your own podcast just like this one, how to find your audience. Whatever your creativity is, we're going to find a path to creating true freedom, because that's what it's all about. So we're taking a journey together that I'm very excited about, and I want to share with you a little bit of my past so you can kind of get a feeling. After I lost my job, I knew I had no choice but to make money online. I never wanted to go back into the educational sector again. I kind of had peaked and I was unhappy with my job. I didn't even like the job. All I was thinking about was that if I worked the job for 2 years and didn't spend any money, I could pay off some of my debts. And in 2 years, I could quit. So already, from the first week at a new job, I was thinking about how long I had to put in time until I could quit. I felt trapped. And that's how we feel, working at most offices these days. We don't feel appreciated. It's not as safe as we think. Companies, close all the time. There's downsizing all the time. When a company decides to downsize, they say, hey, we have to cut 10% of our workforce from every division. Even if you're in the division that's actually profitable, they'll still fire you. Even if you're doing a good job, they will punish you for the failures of other departments. I see big companies do this all the time in every industry. And it's difficult. And what I've seen is that many people then go into try and become real estate agents or realtors. That's kind of the most common place, at least where I come from, where people jump into to try and work for themselves. The problem is that it's not scalable. You can only show so many houses a day, and the market gets filled, and your audience is really all the houses for sale in your area. And if everyone's getting fired in your area, it's not really a great opportunity. No one's buying houses when everyone's getting fired. So instead, we want to go online, and that's what I did. I first started off selling services. I wanted to help people with their local websites. So in my local town, I started going around and finding customers, and I would help them get more traffic, more customers using Google. That's how I started out. That's how I started my first business. And I spent a couple of years doing that, really building that. I didn't know anything. When I got my first client, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that I could learn it. And I started building from there. I built that business and used that money to grow and to support myself. And I was making more money working from home just a few hours a day than I was at my previous job. Within 6 months, I was making more money than the boss who fired me. That's the power of kind of understanding how the internet works. And you don't have to know anything technical. If you can just communicate with people, and if you can just know a little bit about sales, you can get into that exact same business. The industry is called search engine optimization, SEO. And all I would do was find customers and say, hey, let me help you. And they would pay me a certain amount of money, and then I would pay someone else less money to do the work for me. So you don't have to know anything technical. You just have to know a little bit about sales and be able to find some customers. And we'll cover really in detail exactly how you can emulate what I did. But I moved beyond there. My next phase, my next iteration, was to begin to make products. I wanted to teach people how I built that business. So then I started creating courses online, and I discovered you can sell thousands of courses a day. It's amazing, the opportunities online. And there's all these amazing ways of growing. And you surround yourself with people that are building online and making something together, and just magic happens. It's such a cooperative environment. I'm now surrounded by people that all want to encourage me and help me grow and help me continue to achieve more and more of my financial and personal dreams. So there's so much potential right now online, and we just don't see it because we're driven by this fear. We're constantly told, no, you can't start your own business. You can't move to another country. You can't do all these things because there's so many risks. But I'm here to tell you that I went through all of those phases and achieved all of the things everyone told me was impossible. They told me that I wouldn't be able to start my own business, that I wouldn't be able to make real money, that I wouldn't be able to pay off my student loans and my old credit card debt, that I wouldn't be able to live in another country or have amazing children or live in paradise. If I was at that old job, I would still be making that low wage, depressed, trapped. Instead, I make more money, I live on this amazing tropical island, and have an amazing family, better than I ever dreamed of. And that's what we're going to create for you. I'm so excited that you've joined me on this podcast. For the first couple of months, I'm going to give you an episode every single day. just so we can really kickstart it. And then maybe after a few months, I might slow down to once or twice a week. I'm going to see how things play out, but I'm really excited. I have so much I want to share with you that for the first 2 months at least, I'm going to give you 5 episodes a week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm going to be here with you to share powerful lessons, stories, techniques, and ways that you can start to make money. And we're also going to cover ways to travel, how to travel on the cheap, how to understand the way cruise ships and airlines and all these industries work. There's so much hidden that we get overpriced. Where I live on this tropical island, I watch people pay for 10 days to stay next door to me what I pay for 30. They're paying triple the price simply because they don't understand how to research. They don't know how to look beyond, the common websites everyone looks at. So we're going to dig into travel. We're going to dig into freedom lifestyle. We're going to dig into making your dreams come true. Now, maybe you just want to make enough money to support your family and spend more time with your kids and grandkids. That's okay. We're going to cover all the techniques to get there. You don't have to want to travel like me. I just want to give you all the tools and the abilities to really create the life that you've always dreamed of and deserve. That's what's going to be so amazing about this adventure we're taking together. Now, I've been doing this for a very long time, so I have seen the challenges, the hurdles, and how to overcome them. And that's what we're going to do together. You no longer have to be alone. This is an interactive podcast. That means that you can ask questions, email me, connect with me. And we're going to really go further and further. Everything you could ever want to know about this podcast, you can just go to servenomaster.com/podcasts. And that's where I'll list all of the episodes, updated information, where you can leave reviews, how you can connect with me, how you can win different prizes, and how really we could work together and you can communicate with me. If you email me, I'm the one who reads it. I don't have an assistant who reads my emails for me like many other, gurus and marketers and people out there do. You actually get direct access to me, and I'm excited to communicate with you. And I email back and forth on Facebook and direct email and through my blog comments everywhere with people every single day. I'm an available resource and I want to connect with you. And we also are going to put together a forum where you can submit questions, as we're going to start to have mailbag questions at the end of different episodes. So if you have questions and you want to ask anything, you can just send an email to podcasts@servenomaster.com. So these are some of the ways you can reach me and some of the resources. But really, I want you to think about what you want. So the first thing we need to really dial into is your desire. Because if you don't know what you want, we'll never know if you've achieved it. I have a friend who makes a lot of money, well into the 7 figures. And I said to him, how much money do you have to make to be happy? And he said, I have no idea. I just need to make more. He's so wealthy, but he's not happy because he has no goal. He's in a situation where he has to make more. When he was making $100 a day, he had to make $1,000 a day. Then it was $3,000 a day. Then it was $10,000 a day. Even if he was making $1 million a day, he wouldn't be happy. And I don't want that for you. So what I want you to do right now with me is sit down and think about what will make you happy. What's your true number? And this is very important because it's going to help us unpack the destination we need to take. See, if you just need to make $100 a day, that's one path. If you need to make $10,000 a day, well, that's a different path, isn't it? It doesn't matter what other people want. I don't want you to focus on that. Think about the cost of your current lifestyle. How much money do you really need to be making every month to support your current lifestyle? And then how much money do you need to make every month to support your dream lifestyle? Do you need to make private jet money? Or would you be happy owning your own house, having no mortgage, and having enough money to do whatever you want every month? Maybe you only need $5,000 in free cash every month once you've paid off all of those assets and you kind of have that freedom. So start to think about and dial into an exact number, because if you don't have an exact number, you'll never achieve it. I used to read all of these books that always said, write down your goals, and I never did it. I always thought it was so silly. How would it make a difference? Once I started writing down my goals, I kept achieving them. There's something about taking ideas and making them real by writing them down that makes them achievable, makes them more likely. And that's what we want to unlock. So think about the things that you need. Do you really need a really expensive car? Does it make you happy? Do you need to live in an expensive house? Do you like having a mortgage? There's decisions that we make and goals that we think we have that are actually goals other people give us. I don't own a car. Now you might think that means that I'm impoverished or that something's wrong with me, but where I live on the tropical island, there's only like 10 cars. I have nowhere to drive. I own a little scooter, okay? And I probably drive it once every week or two. So why would I have a car that I'm only going to drive once a month? It's a silly financial decision. The only reason to buy a car would be for status and to show it off. And it would be useless because half the roads here, it wouldn't even be able to drive on. So do you want a car? Do you want an expensive car because you need it, because it's a tool, or because you like showing it off? For most of us, we want the most expensive car we can afford to show to our neighbors, to show people that we've made it, to show people our success. So we end up investing time, making money, and then we take that same money and invest it in things that don't actually make us happy. There's all these studies that show when you buy a new car, when you make an expensive purchase, it makes you really happy for the first week or two, but then it fades away. That feeling of newness only lasts 2 weeks. And then we spend 2, 4, 6 years paying off that car. And we trade it in before we've even paid it off so we can get that feeling of newness again. And we're on this perpetual hamster wheel. We've been trained in our society to pay for things after we've achieved the gratification. We no longer have that feeling of, I've worked hard, I've saved up the money, now I can buy what I want. Instead, it's experience the pleasure now and pay later. The problem is that you're selling your future for satisfaction now. So as you sit down and write your goals, really think about what you actually want and dial into that. Do you really want to live in a nice house? Do you really want to live in America? Do you really want to drive an expensive car? Now, those might really be the desires of your heart, and that's okay if it is. Some of the people I work with, some of my friends, and some of the people that we're going to talk to throughout this podcast, they're exactly like that. They have amazing houses, amazing cars. They've opened huge offices. What I've discovered is my own path, and we're all going to have different journeys we want to go on. We're all going to want to go on different paths. What I want to give you are the tools, the knowledge, the skills to take the path to your freedom. Because that's what this is really all about. My real goal, and the reason my book, my podcast, my website are all named Serve No Master, is because I got so tired of how most of us live in bondage. Other people get to tell us what to do. Other people get to shout at us all the time. I am in a situation now where nobody can ever shout at me ever again. I just moved house with my family a few months ago. The place I was living before, the landlord was very dishonest, and he kept trying to change the price on the rent, and he made some disparaging comments about my business. I have no idea why. He has no idea what I do for a living. He doesn't know anything. And he was shouting at me, saying that I should work more hours to pay him more money. And I said, you don't understand. No one gets to shout at me anymore. And we moved out the next day. And now that house is empty. He'll never rent it out ever again. People don't have the power to yell at me, shout me, or make me feel bad ever again. And I want to give you that same level of freedom. So that if a landlord tries to shout at you, you can just walk right out and go, bye, I'm going to live somewhere else. I have the money, the freedom, the power to live wherever I want. That's what freedom really is. To never have a boss yell at you again. To have no one able to fire you ever again. Think about that freedom. We all have these pieces of fear. We always are afraid of disappointing people, getting shouted at, making a mistake. But when you're in control of your destiny, when you have life in your hands, you could do whatever you want. You have this amazing power, this amazing freedom, and you really have the ability to become limitless. I'm so excited that you've joined me on this journey. And I just want you to know that I appreciate you giving your time to me. My goal is to really keep these episodes short, under 25 minutes, so they're not too long. Sometimes the information is so good, I might go a little over, so I'm going to tell you in advance. But what I really want to do is just deliver you very valuable content, be very consistent with you, and give you knowledge and tools so you can start to achieve the things you want. So today, we're just focused on where we want to take this journey. Where can you find your true happiness? Is your true happiness a tropical island like me? Maybe it's living in the mountains and snowboarding or skiing every day. Maybe it's the ability to put your kids in a really nice private school. So look at your numbers. Just spend a few minutes being practical and write them down. You can just save them in a little app in your phone, in a little note app. You don't have to do anything super strong yet. But knowing what you're looking for, well, that's the beginning of the journey to success, because if I know what your goal is, I'm going to help you achieve it. My entire life, people have told me the things that I can't accomplish. People told me that I would never be able to start my own business, that I would never make as much money as I made at my old job, that I would never do this, never do that I could never live in another country, that I could never find success, that I could never find people to work with again. All of these things, right? People put these walls in front of us, say, you can't do this, you can't do that. They told me over and over again that my plans wouldn't succeed, and I've succeeded over and over again. So now I'm at the next phase where I want to show that I can teach other people to do it too. So that all those people that told me I couldn't do it, not only have I done it myself, I want to do it for thousands and tens of thousands of people just like you. So I'm emotionally and personally invested in your success. When you become wealthy, when you quit your job, when you take a picture of your family living on a new tropical island, driving that new car, living in your house, when you have that letter saying, hey, you paid off your mortgage. You're free from bondage to the bank. You never have to deal with this bank ever again. Those moments, I want you to capture them and share them with me because that's what I live for. Because every one of those moments is a piece of proof that I can shove in the face of the people who didn't believe in me and say, look, not only did I succeed, tens of thousands of people succeeded just like me. That's my feeling, okay? That's what I'm driven by. So this isn't just about me sharing knowledge and trying to sell you stuff. I don't care about that. I'm already financially secure for the rest of my life. What I want to do is share my knowledge and give more people the freedom, grow an army of people that are in control of their own destinies. So we have a true feeling of freedom again, no longer feeling like we're under the thumb of corporations, businesses, politics, all these different things that make us feel so limited in life. We're humans and we deserve to soar. I want you to experience the wonder and the amazingness of true freedom. So that's what we're going to accomplish together. And if you stick with me and you subscribe to this podcast, I'm going to give you the tools, the path, the knowledge, everything you need to achieve true freedom, take control of your destiny, and become someone like me, someone who's finally able to serve no master. To celebrate the launch of the Serve No Master podcast, I'm giving away some epic prizes. You could win an Amazon tap and have me personally turn you into a best-selling author. To win your part of over $20,000 in prizes, go to servenomaster.com/contest.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Serve No Master. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another episode. We'll be back tomorrow with more tips and tactics on how to escape that rat race. Head over to servenomaster.com/podcasts now for your chance to win a free copy of Jonathan's bestseller, Serve No Master. All you have to do is leave a 5-star review of this podcast. See you tomorrow.